Hey guys, and welcome back. This is episode 4 of the Manta 400 replica rebuild. As you can see here, we've got some brake calipers laid out. These are a nice little set of Wilwoods that we're going to be fitting on the car. So in today's episode, we're going to be fitting these along with the conversion brackets. Let's see how these fit. I've never actually fitted one of these kits, so this will be a first for me. With this particular type of caliper, we've got a bag of nuts and bolts there that come with the kit. Hopefully this should be a pretty simple, straightforward fit. What we're about to find out, we've already removed the old discs off the hubs, which are over here, crusty and rusty. So we've got the original bolts which bolt the disc to the hub. These are a multi-spline 10.9 strength bolt, so we're going to be reusing them because we know these are good and strong. We don't want to be using cheap crappy bolts that are only like 8.8 or so on, so we're going to be reusing them. We're going to be trying to get these on. You've seen in the last episode we rebuilt this front cross member, which is looking pretty good. We had all the zinc plating redone, these springs are powder coated in gold, and we hydro dipped all the arms and everything in a carbon fibre effect, which will look pretty cool. So as I said, we've already removed the old discs from the hubs. I've given these a clean up with a wire brush and a wire wheel on a drill to get all the crusty stuff off. We give them a coat primer, zinc rich primer, and we've just put some silver rattle can on there. Nothing special. These are just to make it tidy really. We don't want to be putting crusty stuff on to a nice shiny cross member. So we're going to get these off here in a minute once they've dried. I'm going to give these probably another half hour or so. They are dry to the touch now, but I'm going to start putting a bit of pressure on them. I don't want to smudge that paint, so we'll give that another half an hour, let that go off, put a bit of heat on there, and then we'll start to install the new discs, which I've got over here. I think these are 250mm or 255mm drilled and vented set of discs, which are quite a bit larger than the originals. As you can see that, they are quite a bit bigger. So also they are vented where these are just a solid disc, although these are not originals because these are grooved. But yeah, they're a better disc to suit the bigger 4-pot calipers we're going to be putting on here. So let's get cracking and let's see how easy these are to fit. Also we've got a new set of billies that we're going to be putting on as well. These are a really good shock. You probably can't get a better shock to go on a Manta. They handle really well with a good set of springs and a good set of billies on. So we'll be putting them on to here as well and getting some bolts in there, so this cross member, once we finish today, should hopefully be ready to install underneath the car. We've still got the back axle to rebuild yet. That'll be done on another episode, and we've still got some bolts that need tightening up. We've not finished off tightening up all these bolts yet, so I'm going to work my way through that, get all these bolts tightened, get these shocks on, get the hubs built up, and hopefully get this bigger brake conversion fitted. Right guys, so we've got our hubs mounted onto our discs. All sat nice and flush. That went together pretty well. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to clear this bench off and we're going to get the front cross member up on here on a piece of cardboard or a piece of foam or something on here, just to stop it getting scratched. Mount it on here so I've got better access to get these hubs mounted up onto the front cross member, and then we can start to figure out how these brackets go on, what bolts go where, and start to get these calipers mounted up onto the brackets. We've just come across a bit of a issue there guys, because these hubs, when I got them, still had the caps on. Now normally when I take the caps off these, I put everything back inside including the hub nut. I'll just pop the cap off there to find that the hub nut is missing, and also I've just pulled one of the bearings out to find that it's falling in bits, so that's not good at all. So that will have to be replaced. We'll have to put a new set of bearings in there and also find some hub nuts. Hopefully I've got some of them in stock or in my storage container. I think I've got some wheel bearings, but these seem to be pretty difficult to come across these days. So all I can do at this stage is mount the hubs temporarily and just get a test fit of the calipers just to make sure they fit, and then it will all have to come back off to have these bearings replaced. So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. To be fair, I probably would have replaced the bearings anyway, but I would like to have got them on and spun the hubs up just to make sure that the discs are sat completely flush and there's no sort of waving and wobbling. I would have mounted a dial gauge in the back there against the disc and spun the hub just to see what sort of reading I'm getting, just to make sure the ovality of that disc mounted against the hub is correct, because I don't want any sort of vibrations on the pedals when I'm pressing the brakes. So unfortunately we can't do that tonight or on this episode due to these bearings. So anyway, we'll get these test fitted and we'll make sure that all these calipers and all these brackets fit, and at least next time we come to do it, we know how it all goes together. I can mark everything up so I know what goes where and which way around they go.
sound.
Right guys, so I'm having a little bit of a fitment issue here. I can't actually get this hole to line up with that hole. The caliper's actually bottoming out. So what I'm thinking is I may have these the wrong way around. This might be the opposite side. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to get the other caliper and try that one on here. As I say, I've never fitted these before. Unfortunately, there isn't much information in the box other than what goes where, so we're going to try these the opposite way around, see if that works. Right guys, so sorry for the jump in the camera there, but what we've had to do is I found that this bracket on the brake conversion kit actually doesn't fit correctly against the spindle, so I've actually had to flat a little bit, only a couple of mil off the spindle edges there, to allow the caliper to sink in deep enough for the bolts to line up with these holes. So after a bit of messing about, I've ground these down and now it should hopefully line up. So I'm just going to pause this for a sec while I position the phone so you can see this properly, and then I'll get this caliper mounted up. Hopefully it should fit. Okay, so that fitted on much better. That's now gone on well. Probably noticed there the disc is sat over to one side, but that is actually because, as I shown earlier, the wheel bearing is no good. I'm just waiting on delivery of new wheel bearings, but you can see when I push that up to its stop point, that gap there is nice and even. So next thing I need to do now is get these bearings replaced, get this bolted up tight, and just see how the pads sit in there, because obviously I don't want the pads sticking up too high off the disc. Can't see any reason why it shouldn't fit. Obviously these positions are fixed, so the caliper can't physically go any deeper onto the disc anyway. As you can see, it is pretty close there, so there's no reason why it shouldn't fit, but it's always good to check. So that's the next stage. We're going to be putting the bearings in, get this tightened up, and then we'll try the pads in and make sure they fit against the disc correctly and that there's no binding or anything. But yeah, that's gone on pretty well. I think that looks pretty good. So that's that side all done. Got the shocker mounted on loosely. But I think that looks pretty damn cool, to be fair, in the carbon fibre dip and the gold zinc plated stuff. And that looks really nice. Really happy with the way that's turned out. It's going to look really, really well under the car. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start to get this side all fixed up, do the same again on this side. I'm not going to video this, it's pointless, you've just seen that over here. So I'm going to get this built up now, and then hopefully in the next episode we'll move on to something else, possibly dipping the dashboard panels, which we've not had a chance to do yet, or getting this mounted under the car, or possibly building the rear axle up. I'm not sure what the next stage is going to be. I'll have a think on that over the next couple of days and determine what the plan of attack is for the next episode. So that's it for now, guys. There we have it, all mounted up. One brake conversion fitted, that should stop pretty well. All dipped up, all lacquered, all rebuilt, all polybushed, all new track rod ends, new ball joints, top and bottom. So that's it for now, and I'll see you on the next one.